With great love and respect in my heart, I greet you on this beautiful Sunday morning from Sonoma. It's a beautiful day out here. The sun is out. Before we begin, let's take a moment to arrive and settle down. So wherever you are, just pull your spine straight. Open your shoulders. Straighten your spine. Softening the belly. Just get grounded. Bring your attention to that breath that's rising from that grounding, expanding in your heart as you breathe in. As you breathe out, attention coming back to the belly. As you spend a little time with this breath, all the restlessness is settling down. The deeper you go in the stillness, lighter you feel, lighter in your body and in your mind. Let's pause the breath for a moment. Just pause it. Slowly continue breathing. Pause it again. There is a sense of expansion from within with this paused breath. And release it. And pause it again. In that expansion, you can almost breathe without using your lungs. Breath of breath. In the paused breath, there is expansion, and in that expansion, you can imagine as if breath is happening there. Slowly release it. A new thing I have introduced today. Breath of breath. And we experience that through imagination first. It's very subtle, subtler than subtle. First there has to be stillness of the body, then stillness of the breath, then your awareness of that expansion within, and in that expansion then is the movement in the center, as if your breath itself is breathing. Thank you all for taking this time. It's a very special time. The observance of Navaratri is coming, starting Tuesday. So no matter where you are, just become aware of this sacredness of this time. Starting on April 9th, I think Tuesday, here in Sonoma. But you can look it up and the days of Navaratri are posted all over. Nava means new. Ratri means night. New night. How can it be a new night? We live in a new way. The time during Navaratri is not a time to sleep. Sleep, but not all the time. So think about carving out a little time to be awake in the night and not think about that, oh, I'm going to be tired tomorrow or some kind of negativity around it. Stay awake even for an hour. Usually the hours that you are sleeping. Think about that. During Navaratri, we are going to stay awake during the hours that we usually sleep. What is Navaratri? For some of you who may not be aware of it, I'm seeing who's sitting in front of me. Astrologically, these two sets of 9 days are carved out in the spring and in the fall. And to offer our devotion to that Supreme Presence, we call Ma, the Divine Mother. Although we know that Supreme Presence is without any name, form, gender, race. But when we are expressing our devotion, it becomes a lot easier if we give it a name, a form, because then the mind can focus and heart can open. So Navaratri is the time of Shakti Upasana. Shakti means energy. The Upasana means coming close to. Upasana, taking a seat next to. We can take a seat next to through our devotion. Historically, Navaratri is a time for enriching ourselves with Shakti. Although the Shakti is within us, the energy is within us and all around us, but it's time to just feel a little more close to it. Navaratri is observed in many different ways in different parts of the world. In our ashrams, Baba has prescribed in a very special way, and that is through austerity. During Navaratri, we become like an austere yogi. Austerity starts with minimizing the intake of the world through our senses. Just think about it, no matter where you are. And whether you do any special ritual or not doesn't really matter, but just become as if, make yourself or think of yourself as a yogi. Yogi is the one who is very mindful of the intake of the world through his or her senses. There is a yogi, then there is a bhogi. Bhogi is the one who indulges with the senses, and yogi is the one who is in moderation. Moderation. So during Navaratri is the time to be a yogi. Now, first thing is, on the day of Navaratri, we make a Sankalp. Sankalp means making a promise to ourselves that during this Navaratri, I will do this. And whatever your Sankalp is, you keep it. Whatever promise you make to yourself, you keep it. You do not break the promise that you make to yourself. This is very important. That on the first day we just write down a few things. We look at our schedule, how we live, what we think, how do we eat. This is the time to make that change, bring that change. And think of that, you're bringing that change, this is the offering to that Supreme Power. If you do it for yourself, sometimes you may say, it's not a big deal, I can skip it. But if you think of it as an offering, your act of that offering is to the Divine Mother, it brings a little sense of sacredness in it. You may not give that much importance to yourself, but to the Divine Mother, think. So that's the idea behind this. You are not separate from the Divine Mother. The only problem is you don't think you are. The truth is, you are. But so if you don't think that you are, then yes, worship a picture or an idol or somebody somewhere. The day you realize that you are the one that you worship, you have reached the goal. We read it, we hear it, that you are divine, you are not separate from God, aham brahmasmi, soham, shivoham, we hear it all. But we never really believe it in a way. So we keep on going. Navaratri is the time to really live the way we wished we lived, the way we imagined that if I live that way, my life will be fulfilled. So it's just for 9 days. It's not like you are going to change your life forever, but think about just for 9 days, you are going to live in a very special way. Cultivation of Shakti, we connect with our Shakti, our inner capacity, capability, by keeping the promise we make to ourselves. If we break the promise that we make to ourselves, we lose self-respect, we lose self-confidence. So, the most important thing during Navaratri is Sankalp. No matter where you are, just make a little mental Sankalp that this is what I am going to do. Those of you who are who have a mantra, who are initiated with a mantra, in our ashram we make a sankalp of doing as many mala as your age every day during Navaratri. And that is the offering to the mother. There is a change in the air. The seasons are merging and there is a beautiful energy outside. So this is a time to really ride on that wave. And you may be very busy with some other things, that you may have some other obligations. It's okay, as long as you find a little time. Carve out time and design it in your own mind how it's going to be and live that way. Let that be your retreat in your own home. Let that be your retreat from the world and be in the company of the Divine Mother, who is very close to you, within you, in the form of your own Shakti. It is because of her we are able to wink our eyes. It is because of her I am able to speak and you are able to hear. In this world, there is nothing but Shakti. Every action that you engage in happens because of her. She is behind every action. And how often our mind goes towards that sacredness. So Navaratri is the time to turn towards that sacredness that is in our life, that is behind every action, that is all around us, a person next to me, in my family, in my society. That is also her. Experience the divine within you and see it all around you. That's the highest form of spirituality. So Navaratri is the time to just take a little time and contemplate those things in our life. Otherwise, life goes on as usual, and which is all right, but we are capable of experiencing more, doing more. We are capable. And some part of us knows it, but we keep on doing some other things. We need to be reminded. And that's why we have Babaji, we have the ashram, we have these kind of observances that come along just to pull us back. Come. There is another way to live. So please consider this just a reminder that sacred time is coming, and you can take a little time from your busy life to bring it in your own life. Thank you all. I'm not going to speak much. The energy is kind of churning, so I have had a sleepless night. It happens to us all. It happens to Babaji too, so don't worry if it happens to you. Sometimes it happens. Thank you all, and if you have any question or anything on your mind, please ask. Shannon?
Yes, Babaji. If you'd like to speak with Babaji or ask a question, please feel free.
Babaji Pranam. Babaji Pranam.
Who is it?
विवेक बोल रहा हूँ.
कौन?
मैं विवेक बोल रहा हूँ.
अरे विवेक कहाँ बोलो?
बस हम छुट्टी पे हैं.
Okay, speak English.
घूम रहे हैं कल.
Ah,
Sorry. We're in California on spring break road trip with the kids.
okay, have fun.
Hi. Just really nice to have you back. Been missing you and thinking of you and internalizing the teachings after probably 25 years of listening and finally getting closer. For everybody who's so busy raising kids and doing their jobs and just trying to get from day to day, how do you suggest we do something simple in Navaratri that will, help us see the essence?
If you are on the road trip with the kids, just sometimes take a moment to just see them as the Divine Mother in your life. You could be all worked up and making plans and driving and this and that, but just separately, 5 minutes, just imagine that this energy, these two balls of energy around you are not separate from Divine Mother. And make a little Sankalp that even on the road, but you will take 5-10 mala every day, and that's all you can offer to the Mother, and that's all you do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
And no guilt.
And no guilt, thank you. Good.
Hi Babaji, my name is Amir. I've been following your satsangs and was introduced to your ashram by one of my friends who's here. I wanted to participate the Navaratri, which is all the concept is new to me. I've been meditating for a while, but this is new, so I don't know how I can do it from home. I was hoping I can make it for a few days in the beginning because I also have some commitment that I cannot do the whole 9 days. But either can I do it partially, presence there, so I can meet you, get if there is a mantra. I already have a mantra. I've been doing meditation TM for a little while. But how can I do it? Either virtually or join for a few days and then go back and do it virtually. Is it a possibility?
You can do it, Amir, right from your home. It's all about making a commitment and keeping it. And thinking of your commitment being as a flower that you are offering at the feet of the Divine Mother. So, it's all about your commitment to yourself. So, I would recommend, right in your home, the mantra that you already have been given, just think about if you are meditating for half an hour or 15 minutes every day, increase that time at least 3 times. Just say, during Navaratri, I will meditate 3 times longer or 5 times longer or whatever you can do. If you have been meditating only once a day, maybe during Navaratri you can say, I will meditate a little longer, twice a day. But do that after. Then there is no excuse. After you have made that promise to yourself, then you're going to do it. And think of that promise itself that you make is a flower that you are offering to the Divine.
Thank you. And the mala that you were mentioning, I'm not familiar with that word. You said to do 4-5 times of mala.
Sometimes people who have received mantra from me or in our tradition, they usually do their mantra on a bead.
Okay.
Some other, where did you get your mantra?
Got it 24 years ago from a TM teacher.
Okay, so TM mantra, they don't recommend you on
the transcendental meditation.
Okay. So it's okay, just do that. But how long you meditate? So if you meditate, for 10 minutes, then during Navaratri, just make it 3 or 5 times more. You intensify.
Between 40 to 50 minutes. So this will make it half a day.
Okay, double it up or sure. And maybe after Navaratri you can come and talk to me, but not during Navaratri, because I go into silence. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Babaji, there's a question, Babaji. What is the word of this Navaratri?
Ask yourself. The word for this Navaratri, let it be determination. Determination. Ichha Shakti. It is through the determination, through making the promise you make, keeping the promise you make to yourself, you develop your Ichha Shakti. Ichha Shakti is the Shakti that is at work in the power of manifestation. So, let the word be determination. I had not thought about it, but it came right in while I'm looking at you, so be it. We all need to develop Ichha Shakti, the willpower, the power that is required for manifestation. You can manifest anything you want, good or bad. So, Stuart, what's happening at Upasana? Silence. Unmute yourself. Okay, looks like they are in silence. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Babaji Pranam. Havan is on which day? 8th Ashtami or Navami?
Who is asking?
Shanta.
Shanta. You do Havan on Ashtami night. Yeah. People who are not observing Navaratri with a mantra, then they can do on the 9th, Navami. But in our, we do it on the night of the 8th. And the solar eclipse is happening, people are getting all excited. They're flying across the country to go look at the sun. And in India, solar eclipse is a time to really stay kaput. And you stand in the water, in the river, while the eclipse is happening. And any food that has been cooked before eclipse is not consumed, actually it's thrown away. So people clean up their fridge, so you don't even look at the sun. So that's why you are standing in the water, that you look at the sun in the reflection in the water, you don't look at it directly. And there is a very different kind of energy on the earth at that time. Those rays of light that come to you, that fall on you, and that fall on the food, that fall on everything, are not considered very auspicious. That's why people go and bathe and clean up after the eclipse. And look at the word eclipse. Somebody is being eclipsed. Somebody's light is being eclipsed. What is there to celebrate? But people put on their hooters and make these sounds looking at somebody's light being eclipsed. So our rishis in the old Vedic rishis, they look at that way. Sun has a presence. It's a personality. It's considered Surya Devata, God. So when the light is being eclipsed, it's not a time to celebrate, but it's time to just be quiet and doing meditation or doing havan at that hour is considered very, very auspicious. I'm not saying what you should do, but I'm just telling you another way to look at it. And if you're not flying away to somewhere, don't feel guilty or bad. Just think you are doing good, right thing, just staying at home. Those who are going, they have fun. Thank you. And when the eclipse is happening, try not to be on the road, not driving or whatever. Just if you can avoid that hour, just stay home, meditate, take a shower. Don't eat at the time of eclipse, if you want to observe. But I know some people will be eating popcorn and looking at it. So, thank you all. Have a wonderful time, and I wish you all the best. May the blessing of the Divine Mother keep you healthy, happy with your loved ones, and have a meaningful time.